You ever wonder how the people in the back of the army in Lord of the Rings heard anything he said during his inspirational speech?
I didn't understand what he said, and I was listening to it on surround sound.
We had the benefit of 5.1 Dolby Digital. That guy back there had a guy farting in front of him.
I don't know, something about orcs. I don't know what he said.
Look, I'm just here for the tuition.
Can I turn around and go home now? Does it really matter?
I'm moving to Canada.
It was only supposed to be 1 weekend a month.
I only joined to pay for the GI
When does the mess hall open? I was to be believed that there would be showers here.
Punch and pie.
Punch and pie.
I was expecting punch and pie, but please leave the battlefield.
We could talk about our Disney World adventure.
Let's lead off with that.
That's a good segue.
So who wants to discuss it? Who wants to start?
Well, let's set it up. When was it? About 08, 07?
It been 07?
I think it was about 07. There was a TV show on VH1 called The World Series of Pop Culture. Yeah. So we formed a team and filled out the application, and we got the call back to go
because we were awesome.
Yeah. To go to
I set up a Boba Fett picture instead of my face.
Yeah, I sure did.
That's probably what got us in.
Probably.
You see this face.
But I don't remember what hotel it was, but they were holding the kind of competition audition type of thing.
It was
it was by Universal.
Yeah. And it was downtown.
So yeah. I mean, it was like right next to Universal.
Yeah.
So I know we went in there, and it was funny because when we went in there, everybody was in costume.
I think we were making fun of them.
Everybody had like matching shirts.
Wait, I know we were making fun of them.
Yeah, I remember. But we were up against about 40 other teams?
Yeah,
something like that. And some of them had really clever names, like the Orlando Calrissians.
That still sticks. I like that name.
I will always remember the Orlando Calrissians.
That was a good laugh.
And I'm glad they made it to the next round. But
we had to take some kind of a test where we had to sit. Remember, we were writing like at tables, but we were lined up in front of each other.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, I don't even remember what the questions were like.
I remember there was a question about Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Just random like pop culture questions.
It was definitely random.
Now, there was more Disney questions than I anticipated, honestly, but I should have.
I don't remember any Disney questions, but I do remember like a Murder, She Wrote question. It was
something
about
what
like
city she was from.
Yeah, something about like Simon and Simon.
And I actually knew that answer because my 4th grade teacher is one of the Simons, Gerald McCraney's sister.
Oh, yeah.
And I remembered that from 4th grade, and I don't remember anything. I don't know how that happened.
I know they asked who played Khan.
Yeah, I remember that.
Asked a bunch of
TV show or the movie. Is that the same guy?
But we didn't make it to the next round.
No, we didn't. I don't know what kept us, because I think we got most of them right. Maybe we needed 100%. I don't know, but I know I did miss a few of them that talked about hip hop. Because I don't listen to hip hop.
Yeah, but I mean, I had a lot of those covered. I think again, he explained it to us they weren't looking for a high team score. They were looking for people that had diversity.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that worked out, but
yeah, see, I don't know either, because I know you had more of a knowledge of that kind of type of stuff, just the music stuff in general. And I had the BS, like all the Disney questions that Jason don't remember. I got those. Because I remember one of them was, what was the name of the prospector in Toy Story 2? That was the only one I remember, and his name is Pete. I don't remember most of the questions now that I think back on it. But they were, honestly, it was those types of questions where you either knew them or you had no idea.
Yeah.
And the ones about hip hop, I had no idea.
But we got knocked out pretty early at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, we were out
really early.
I think we were with the first group to go in.
Yeah. And when we left, we looked at each other and were like, well, we're here for the whole weekend. Let's go to Disney.
Yeah. Well, we had a discussion on whether it was going to be Universal or Disney, but I think Wally wanted to buy tickets because because he was coming back.
Yeah, I was getting annual.
And I was like, I'll go to Disney World. I don't care.
So we started the day off at where did we go first?
God Almighty, I don't know.
We jumped. I remember doing that.
Yeah.
I think we went in and hit. We went to the Animal Kingdom because it opened early. We went and hit the two big rides there, and then bailed.
I remember we hit like all the parks.
It was like November, so it was an off month.
No, it was February.
It was February.
Okay. It was the end of February.
An off
and it was
month.
freezing.
Yeah. Which comes up to the story later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The thing is, we hit every major. I remember this because I was proud of it. We hit every major attraction at Walt Disney World in all 4 parks in only 2 days.
That was the bragging point. Wasn't that a bragging point? I was like, I know we could do this. We could knock it off.
Exactly. there were only 2 rides we didn't go on. And I know this. Well, if you don't count the Hall of Presidents, because I don't. The 2 that we did not do that were major was the Inner Tube ride. And,
because it was February.
Yeah, it was February. And the other one was the Finding Nemo the musical because we missed the last show.
That's right.
And the rest of it we did.
So we couldn't have been at the Animal Kingdom last because that's what it was. We missed the last show. We must.
Yeah, that had to be like the last thing.
I bet we went to Epcot first.
No, the first place we went was what was that? Paradise, the Pleasure Island. Remember we went to Pleasure Island and we went.
Oh, that's because we ate at the Earl.
Yeah, that's right. It was time to eat lunch. We stopped and ate at the Earl, and then.
And I think we went
MGM maybe.
Yeah, I think that's where we went because Jason had never been there before.
That's what it was. We were to kick it off with the rock and roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then we did the tower, I believe, after that.
Yeah, you just hit it right there. Yeah, I remember that.
Because I know we went to Magic Kingdom that night.
It's so funny that people are actually listening to us give our itinerary.
Yeah. I know.
Disney World trip.
Look,
but it's leading up to something.
Oh, it's definitely leading up.
Entire podcasts about just this.
It could be.
And I listen to them too. They exist. They're out there.
I still had a season pass is what it was.
Yeah.
I still had a season pass so we didn't have to pay to park.
That's right. Because you were showing off your little season pass, and I was getting one, and that was another reason why we went.
Right. You don't have to pay to park. So what's the
point?
Get
discounts.
Yeah. What's the point of jumping on the buses, which I love about Disney World?
Yeah, the transportation.
It is good. So anyway, we got to the Magic Kingdom till we ended.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was February, and it was pretty cold. It was quite nipply.
Yeah, tits bit nipply.
It was almost freezing. It was in the low 30s.
It was. Dude, we definitely had coats on.
And the worst part was getting on that damn tram, going back and forth because it was open air.
Right.
Blowing, and my face was all red. I'm like, this is the biggest thrill ride of the day. Or at least I thought it was until we got into the Magic Kingdom.
And
you think the Magic Kingdom is going to be the relaxing end to the day?
Yeah, because their biggest thrill ride in the Magic Kingdom is Space Mountain, and that
Well, until that night.
Until that night, yes. So okay, we walk by. This is the way I remember it. We're walking by Splash Mountain. We weren't going to ride Splash Mountain for very obvious reasons. And we were on our way to Big Thunder Mountain, which is right next door to it. But as we were walking by, Brian stopped us all and said, "Ooh, they don't have the jets on." And then we stood there and we watched another log go down the giant. It's a log flume ride. If you're not familiar with Splash Mountain, it's a log flume ride. I'm sure you've seen them at state fairs. But what it is, you get into the log, you go around a little lake, and in Disney World, it's inside this mountain, and there's a little show with the Song of the South characters in it, which is interesting since they disavowed all knowledge of that film. And as you're going around, it builds to a crescendo in which they drop you 5 stories into a pool of water. And normally they make it worse by shooting these jets off every so often. And we sat there and watched another log go down, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they don't have the jets on."
And it's also like almost 9 o'clock at night, and it's about 33, 34 degrees outside.
So I mean, that was the bright idea. Is we're not going to get wet. I've ridden this thing 300 times, and when they don't have the jets on, you don't get wet.
Yeah. And
until
I
you load the log with the three of us
unevenly
in the front of the log,
now,
which there was no line.
No, there's no line. We jumped right on that thing.
We walked right on.
And the thing is that it said it
because nobody wants to ride a water ride in February, 33-degree weather,
except for 3 idiots.
Well, okay, they put you and Brian in the front seat, and
which was smart.
Yeah. Now, at the time, honestly, I weighed, and I'm not joking. At the time, I weighed almost 100 pounds more than I weigh right now. So I was a little over 400 pounds. Yes, I didn't tell you all that at the time. I apologize. And I'm sitting there in the second seat, pretty much taking up the whole thing. And they're in the front, and we feel the conveyor go.
Me and Brian slowly turn around to look behind us.
Let me preface this by saying that it's my dream to get hurt on an amusement park ride. I've said it so many times, like, man, it'd be the ultimate thrill, and if I don't really get hurt that bad, I could sue them. And that's until it goes clank and starts to move, and you realize there's 400 plus pounds in the first 2 seats of a hollow log.
Well, no, you say Wally, you said you were 400. Yeah, I was roughly around 200.
Yeah, I was a little bit over 200.
So there's 800 pounds in the front of this little plastic log. We turn around, and the look on Brian's face, he looks at me and says, "They're letting us go. They're letting us go." And I look, and all I see is Wally sitting behind.
And then you said, "They're letting us go." And the cat waves at us.
Yeah. And the little dock area is shrinking, and I'm like, oh no, this is the worst thing to ever happen to me.
Whose bright idea was it to get on this thing?
We're all blaming each other. What's your idea?
I just said they didn't have jets on. I didn't say let's get on.
So we go over the first little bump where you drop down about 10 feet.
Yeah.
And we freaking slam
plowed
into the side of the half tube.
The boat literally came out. The back came out of the water. I felt it.
And then the front of the boat came up over the side, remember? Because I smashed my knee. I had a bruise on my knee.
Water came in. I've never gotten wet on that part of the ride.
Yeah, that first one's so mild that no one ever has gotten wet in the history of it.
And we got stuck.
We were stuck with it because the boat in front of us got stuck somehow because we're I don't know how it worked. I just remember the log was still in front of us, and it was kind of like we were attached to another log for a long time there.
And then the other log had to come up behind us and to get us to go again.
See that part. This is what happened because I remember this. I remember this vividly because I thought we were going to die. We were hauling. This is after the second drop right there. What happened was we were going so fast, and I swear to God, I don't think that those things are designed to go as fast as it was going. It was going so fast that it jumped the show scene. Like, we were literally partially in the show scene. And it whenever the one came up and hit us from behind, it actually bumped us off of it.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I was like,
this isn't a small world anymore,
boys.
And that was when we started saying our goodbyes to one another.
I can't believe I'm going to die with you two assholes at Disney World.
I'm going to die in the happiest place on earth.
They died on Splash Mountain. People be like, in February? Why did they get on that?
Probably because we were bugging the guy that, put you into the log. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have an easy night. Nobody's going to come on the ride. He's like, oh, crap. Here come some people.
I'm going
Watch
to murder these guys.
Oh, man.
I'm going to murder these guys with fun.
So we're going through, and it's doing its little animatronic thing. It's like, My oh my, what a
No,
wonderful.
that's after the end.
Oh yeah.
We're
What's the
coming up, have a good time.
What's the one
How do you
before it
do?
when as you're going up the hill?
The laughing place.
That's the laughing place part of it. I don't see you laughing. And
Yeah, and then the
Bear
vultures.
stuck in the honeycomb, the beehive.
No, but don't throw me in that patch.
And the vultures are like looking at you all ominous, and we're like, we're going to die.
But
here.
it stopped. Remember, it stopped
Yeah.
again. I was like, maybe they're smart enough to not send us.
And we're all like, we're all looking at each other like, okay, look, if this falls, I want y'all to know that, you know, I love my family. And if I make it out, I'll tell your family that you love them too.
Well, before that, we were contemplating like actually just getting out of the boat.
Which would have been really smart.
that would have been the worst case.
It's either die or go to jail. One of the two.
You could die getting out of that thing. There's no telling what's going on.
Oh my god! Honest to God, our screams on the way down.
It was the most fun drop. I can't ride the ride ever again.
Never gone down that fast before.
I mean, now it's just boring when I ride it.
Well, there's no fear of death. Because we pushed it to its limit.
Oh my god, we went over that hill and took that drop.
Oh, it was awesome.
I will never forget that sound that it made. Just kind of, you know, that sound whenever.
I'll never forget that sound you made.
I mean, it was like I don't know how to. It's like, have you ever heard somebody in the UFC get punched so hard that it sounded like somebody just I don't know, slapped a side of beef as hard as they could?
I think you had a poncho on too.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I had my coat on. It
Is that what it
looked
was?
like a poncho because I was huge.
Were we wearing ponchos? Was that part of the plan?
I don't think we were wearing. I think we bought some afterward. Yeah, we did. We bought some afterwards after we were already
But
wet.
it had kind of been raining, right?
Yeah.
But man, I've
I
never
think-
gotten wetter.
I think they probably needed to replace that plastic log because the structural integrity was gone after that.
Goodness.
The thing is, I remember because we were cheering and screaming. We were like, "We're alive!" You know, just so happy that we completely missed the fact that there was still more ride to come.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. There's more dropping.
We were just so alive to actually make it through that long drop.
And I'll never forget that because like we went immediately to the smoking area,
Yeah.
and where
Yes.
because they had those rocking chairs, and we and you were staring off. I remember Jason staring off in the distance at the parade, and you said, "These fuckers, they throw a parade at the drop of a hat."